Hi, I'm Dave. Welcome to the shop. Another day in this episodic situation of the Caddy bedside stand. So today's the day that the top is going to get mounted permanently to the top of the case. Top's done. It needs to get sanded one last time. Get the pecky parts of the shellac off. This has a couple of coats of shellac on it. It's time for sanding. Then from that point on, it will be lacquer. There's, at the moment, things are a little out of sequence because of the way, I've been working on this thing. These have a couple of coats on them already. These have a couple of coats on them already. These parts of the legs, all four sides, these little square knuckles of the legs, because I had to glue to them, I only have one coat of shellac on them, and that's being used as a sanding sealer, and I pretty much sanded it all off. And the truth is, it's still in the pores, but for the most part, it's been sanded pretty much so that there's very little real shellac surface. It happens, boom, 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 like that, and now it's smooth as hell. And that's really what I've been doing. A little flaw right here. Excuse me for a moment. Better. Little things, Anyway, so today is mount this, which is some strips on the inside. They'd be fine. And screw into the sides and then up into the top, and boom, it's done. Done, done, done. And then it's that part that will also allow me to get this part. It'll be fixed. And then I can put a cleat in that will make the spacer between the underside of the top and the drawer. But then it comes to the drawer. What do we do for the drawer? So I've got this namby-pamby, mahogany, right? So I got a piece here that would fit as the drawer front. It's very plain. I wondered if maybe I could just spice it up a little bit and use a piece of bird's eye maple as the drawer front. Just a little contrast. Then thinking of contrast, I have this piece of spalted beech, which is really heavily spalted, but it's still sound enough to use as a drawer front. Anyway, thinking maybe that is just big enough. And that would go in there as a drawer front. Toned with the amber toning, so that it's not like it would be brilliant white, but it would be very different. And then we've got, and the reason I say that is you can probably tell where this is going. We've got one more piece of this highly figured ribbon mahogany, and I had a survey done, which is silly. I asked the young Kohai what he thought, and he thought the ribbon material was better because it was already represented here. So, I like it too. So I guess we're going to go with the ribbon, but it's not like I'm not thinking about it. I've sort of given it some thought, tried to work it out. What is the answer here? What's the best answer? And came up with, I don't know. But I'm going to go with this. So that's where we're headed. So today is get the top fixed and start working on the innards that will support the drawer. I think the drawer is not going to have a bottom. Not going to have trim at the bottom of the drawer. So the drawer is going to have nothing to set on to go in and out. So I'm going to have to make side rails with dados in the drawer sides. I think it'll be interesting. I've never done that before. It's been done for years. We'll do it together, and we'll have a good time, I am sure. So stick around. Things are going to happen. I'd like to say they're going to improve, but they're definitely going to happen. Here we go. So I've got this on its side, and I need to put some cleats on to attach the top, because I want the top to be attached without showing any fasteners, right? I don't want to nail it down, although back in the day they probably would have on a good banana cart. But anyway, so I've made some cleats, I've drilled some holes, I have some screws. They're just regular drywall screws. They're 1 5/8, And this adds up to 1 7/8, so I should be able to drive these through without the points coming through, which should be good. Because, you know, what's the point, right? Anyway, so I'm going to put some glue on because, you know, because I can. Means it'll never move, I think. Or it'll be extremely difficult to get it to move. I'm going to, you know, I don't want this low, too far down, because then it'll be in the way of the drawer. I don't want it too far up, because then the top will set proud of the rails. So I think I'm going to find some happy medium. Let's see if I'm happy about it. And I think I'm going to have it just, if anything, a little teeny bit proud, a little teeny bit, and I can plane it. And that feels like it right there. And that's, you know, driven in. And this one's pretty good too, so I'm going to go, there we have it. Just a touch, just that last little snap. Makes it, you know, that snap of goodness. And I think what I'll do is I'll just chase it down with the clamp. A little teeny bit. Nothing coming through, which is the key. And two more. Oh, that's got that crank of goodness. That's good. All right. And a little bit of glue oozed out when I clamped that. That's great. There you have it. That's done. Now it's, I'll get my straight edge out and I'll dress it because I can feel a little spot right there. I'll dress the whole top of this. Make sure it's good for me. And then flip it over on top of the, what will be the top, upside down. Square it up, line it up, and I've already drilled some holes from this side. It will go down into the top. And for those, I'm going to use 1 1/4 screws because I think it'll work. Yep. All right. So bring it around. So as these things go, this will be the last time I can touch this easily. So I'm going to just go across and knock any of the little fuzziness of the last coat of shellac off. I only really have to do the rails. Don't have to do this panel because it's just never going to be seen or in contact with anything. Something to be said for that. And no one's really going to care what this looks like. But, you know, someone will touch it. And go to pick this up and move it around. May as well be smooth. So I've left the panel, that's good. I'm going to just do that to knock what little bit of arris is left on this. There's no point in doing that later. Later you cut through the finish when you do that. Do it now. Alright, this is what that looks like on the underside. Great, alright, let's see how we do setting this up. I don't know how your view of this is, but there you have it. My view is great. My aim is true. Huh. Well, that's all interesting. All right, I guess I'm going to put a couple more than moments into squaring this up. You know, really never put any great effort into making this, any of this, really square. I mean, I do things and then I check, but I never really went nuts on it. So I guess now's the time. Go around and measure, you know, looking like, see, this is what happens. I'm looking like 1 3/4 inches. And that's a rich 1 3/4 inches. This right here is a very rich 1 3/4 inches. And this, well, see, I'm pretty darn close. If I just went, if I got 2 blocks that were 1 3/4 inches, oh well. Anyway, yeah, so that's not awful. It's a rich 1 3/4 inches. What we're looking at here. Pretty impressive. Just put it down there. All right, good. So that's not awful at all. Now, front and back. On the front, I've got 1 1/2 inches. I knew that these would be different. And in the back, I've got 1 5/8 inches. So 1/8 of an inch different. Is that important at all to anyone? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to bring it forward a little teeny bit and line it up like that, and like that, right to the edge of this front piece. You can call that good. That's not quite 1 7/16 inches. Close. Not quite. And that is not quite 1 7/16 inches. All right. You know, that's good enough. All right, now some 1 1/4 inch screws. Bang, 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 bang. This is. Do I need 1 1/4 inch? That's the question. This is the same piece of wood as that. And if I went flush, oh, that puts me way too close. All right, 1 1/4 inch. Okay, if you promise not to tell anyone, I actually grabbed some 1 5/8 screws and I cut them down to 1 3/8 inches. And I did that because because they're mostly, if like 1 1/4 inch screws, like almost all it gets into this thing is the gimlet, the little point on the end. Not good enough for me. I want better. I mean, we all want better, right? So, to get better, I broke them. I snapped. These are hard, so they snap. The tips off. They're now all 1 3/8 inches, thereabouts. I'm gonna drive them in. Just recognize the problem. This drill is too tight. I need something to get up higher. I need a longer drill bit, Phillips bit. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut some screws down to 1 3/8 inches rather than 1 1/4 inch that I couldn't find, and 1 5/8 inches that I just was afraid to drive through for fear that they'd come through if I overdrove one. Anyway, so what I've done, the drill won't fit. You know, it's always something. So I've got my old Yankee screwdriver, and I'm just going to go old school on these things. And that should pretty well take care of it. And that's got that crunch of goodness. Let's see how I do. Nice, huh? Am I glad I only put 5 in? What I'll do is I'll lock this afterward, and I'll just do ground tighten them all 1/4 of a turn. This isn't a lot of work, but it does make you remember why you're so happy to get a drill to drive screws with. right. All right, now, as I said, I'm going to lock this. I'll lock it down. And I'll lock that ratchet. So now it doesn't ratchet. I can just turn it like a screwdriver. There it is. All right, good, good, all good. All right. All right, now, ooh, I need to do that again because I need to put a front in. All right, I got a little piece I'm going to put in the front from side to side. That will be the trim for the top of the drawer. All right, let me go do that. Got to get it cut, and then we'll. Okay, I got a piece cut. A little gobbet of glue on the corners. For no particularly good reason at all, but I did. And I've cut this thing so it just barely goes in. And there it is, and it's in. That'll be great. And now I need 3 more screws, which I didn't make, but I know how to do it. So I'm going to put that clamp right there. All right, so 3 screws. That's that. And I'll get this one. And that's that. And I'm going to put the clamp on just to, in case the screw tries to back its way up. They sometimes do. I think that's good. I sort of can feel like I can feel a screw, but we'll know in a second. And the answer is, yeah, what can you get? I think I'm going to make one a teeny bit longer. This one will bite and just jump in a little bit further. Be good. I didn't do it at all. Now what do I do? Now what I do is I counterbore this a little bit deeper. This is where you get yourself into trouble. I don't believe this is happening. Oh, man. One more try. I just wanted to catch. Something's wrong. It's not going in. Now I'm asking myself, is there a piece of metal in there? Oh, baby. All right, I got it. I got it. It's in. It's great. All right. Oh, man, scare me. Good. All good. All good. All right. Wow. I didn't see that coming. Okay. So now I've got that done. Next trick I have to do is I have to flush the sides to receive the drawer, and onto those flushed sides I will be putting a strip of wood that's going to engage in the drawer side. So maybe I'd be better off making it all out of one piece. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a look at that. Maybe I'll make this all out of one piece. That could work if you think about it. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That's what I'm going to do. 2 pieces. Let you know in a minute. So here we are upside down still. I've bucked out 2 pieces of beech. Terrible, terrible beech. Worm-eaten beech. Some limb wood from a beech tree that came down on a client's property. Anyway, I've got 2 pieces slapped in. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is, I don't know what, some dimension down. 1 inch down and 1 inch up. I'm going to cut away that business and leaving this piece right here sticking in. And I'll make a dado on the sides of the drawer sides that fit on that. The drawer will go in nice and easily. And there'll be no need for a bottom. And that's what I'm going to do. So next trick is to set the table saw up and cut a couple of notches in both of these pieces. Bing, 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 bada bing, bada boom, and I got it. Can't wait to see it. Never done this before. Should be easy enough. All right, we'll see you in a bit. So a little hint from your Uncle Dave here. This is a piece that I cut off, the pieces for the sides. And you always save your cut-offs. Put them in its place. I chopped this off. This is great. But this is the same board, other than it's the end of it, that I'm going to put here. So I can run it as a test cut on the table saw to see if I've got the thickness right, and I do. I can check and make sure that I've got the thickness right off the saw, so I don't have to depend on measuring with less precision than my finger. I can feel, I don't know what, 3/1000 of an inch, maybe 2 with my finger. I can't measure that, that's for sure. So anyway, keep your offcuts around. They come in handy for only a period of time. Don't hold on them forever. That's a problem that I have. But just for the day or 2, hang on to the pieces. Little hint from Uncle Dave. Okay, here we are. This is upside down still. I've made my 2 drawer side runners. They fit in really nicely. They're nice and flush on the sides, so the drawers will touch this and have a plow in them to go over that. And it's symmetrical and all of that, and that's great. All right, so now I've done that. I want to put these in place, and I think all I really want to do is glue them, because the grain runs the same way as the grain in these. And that should be okay. And so I need some spacers. I'm going to throw some spacers in the bottom just in case there's some glue or some snots or whatever. These are just almost perfect now. All right, clamp. It's forward. That's great. And that's that one. And a little in the back. That's good. Good. This is all good. All right, clamp, glue. Glue. How do you know what to do with glue, right? Always use too much. Because you can. All right, and spacers, again, just because I can. Same thing. Good. Clamp. Should take care of that. And a clamp here. Should take care of this. I guess I could get 2 more clamps and throw them in the middle. I'll do that. All right, that. And then this, and that'll be the day, I think. I like gluing things up and then calling it a day. I'm not sure why. And it doesn't look quite as parallel as it could. Looks better, like that. All right, clamped. Runners are in, ready to make a drawer. And I could start cutting the drawer out. I could start selecting the pieces I'm going to use for the drawer size. All right, there are a couple of things I could do without getting in the way of anything. I'll get busy. I'll do them. I'll get back.